This is the all-new McLaren W1 hypercar. Let's check it out. Good morning and welcome to Goodwood Festival of Speed 2025. All of Shmee's cars out and about. We actually drove these cars together in a convoy from the Shmuseum. He gave me the keys to the 12 Cylindri. Listen to this V12. How wild is this? Behind me is the Lanzante 9559, and it's a 3-seater hypercar that you have never seen before. So Lanzante actually started out as a race team, and they've got their Le Mans winning McLaren F1 right here, but now they've become famous for creating road legal conversions of race cars, essentially, like this McLaren P1 GTR that was limited and only available on the track, but now you can drive this on the street, which is absolutely insane. So the 9559 starts life as a McLaren 750S. Then they take the donor car and modify the chassis to accept a third seat. So how cool is this? You've got the center seat layout like a McLaren F1 or a Gordon Murray T50, and they've widened the seats to the side so it's even more comfortable than that. They're only making 59 of these. The donor car you get for 280,000 pounds, and it's about £1 million on top of it in order to convert it. The car is fully made of carbon fiber. Even the painted bits are carbon. We've got bespoke wheels, and I love the rear end. Notice how cool the wing mirrors are. They're mounted so high on the car so you can actually see. We've got a McLaren F1 style window right there. Kind of similar rear end to the 750S. They've lowered the ride height to be the same as a 765. They've modified the suspension as well. But I love the way this looks. The car is powered by a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 making 850 horsepower. Because all of the body panels are made from carbon fiber, weight is down as well. Crazy enough, it's actually somewhat practical. The entire front end opens up like a clamshell, and it has a front trunk in a limited edition 1 of 59 hypercar. Okay, if a road legal P1 GTR isn't crazy enough for you, how about a road legal converted Lanzante Pagani Revolucion? I believe this is owned by Mike Yin, and I've seen a Zonda go around the track, but I've never seen a road legal one. That has got to be the ultimate car. I mean, come on, it literally doesn't get any better than this. Get a load of this, the Porsche GT1, and this is the winningest chassis in GT1 with 13 victories, 590 horsepower, and yes, this is road legal. Another one of the coolest cars in the entire world that you can actually drive on the street. And this is the only chassis that left the Porsche factory as an Evo. All others were converted, and I love how you can see the wide body extension with those taillights. It's got a mini 911 inside the entire car. This year, Goodwood is celebrating the 100th anniversary of the first ever F1 Grand Prix, so the turnout of F1 cars is unmatched. For such a cool car, the F80 actually sounds terrible. It kind of reminds me the first time I heard the Project 1 go up the hill climb. It's just really cool, but really underwhelming. It is ripping though, that thing is fast. How cool is this? The Audi 90 Quattro IMSA. Get a load of the wheels. And then the side exit exhaust. Look how wide the fenders are. You can see where the taillights end and the fenders are extended coming down the side. We've got that really cool knock-a-duct and that side exit exhaust. Well, it really doesn't get any crazier than this. Look at how many McLaren F1s are next to each other in the paddock. We've got a stunning normal, if you can call it normal, McLaren F1 in blue. We have another silver McLaren F1. And then look at this, F1 GTR in the Lark livery. Then we have another McLaren F1 GTR, and then the F1 GTR Longtail. This is one of the coolest cars in the entire planet. It's cool to see some of the differences between the Longtail and the GTR. You've got different fender vents right here, a slightly revised front end that looks a little bit more aerodynamic, and a different shape roof scoop. I love the vented fenders. That'd be a cool option on the road car. And another all-time great, the Porsche 962C. We've walked over to the Porsche area and there are a ridiculous amount of GT3 and GT3 RSs. All of the Caymans next to each other as well. So I can't believe I've been to Goodwood 7 times and I've never made it to the rally stage. It's one heck of a walk, but there are some really cool rally cars out here and a bunch of jumps and drift courses. Ooh. That is sick. Rock crawling. How cool is the rally stage? You just drift right next to you, and the best part is you don't need accreditation, you don't need anything. The public can just come and be right next to the action. Look at this VW Polo. That thing is awesome. As is this. Look at the intakes in the side. So get a load of this Luma CLR RS. It's a wide body kit for a Range Rover. I actually kind of like the way it looks. Kind of gives me Cullinan wide body vibes. Look at that intake in the side, the rear fenders, and get a load of the rear end of it. Quad exhaust, that's mean. Casual Chiron 110 anniversary edition. It's full exposed carbon fiber in the front, and then it's satin in the rear. The thing is absolutely insane. I love how if you look into the headlights, you can see the carbon fiber through the clear glass. Get a load of this DJC sports cars. It almost reminds me of an Ariel Atom, but look at this. It has one seat in the center, like a McLaren F1. That is incredible. So this is a company called Dash that makes custom carbon fiber chassis that fit any engine. Look how cool the carbon weave is, and it's got a Hartley V8 in the back. Obviously, it doesn't have all of the engine components and drive lines, but imagine driving it like this. This is a car I've never heard of before, the Larkin Feroxa. It only weighs 2,000 pounds, has a 420 horsepower V8. The styling from the back kind of reminds me of a Monza SP2. Look at this, guys, the all-new BMW M2 CS with its ducktail rear spoiler, lightweight carbon fiber wheels and carbon fiber roof, and upgraded power from the normal M2. First time seeing one of these in person. Power is up to 523 horsepower. Weight is down. They've dropped the suspension a bit. It's more track focused. I actually really like it. Check this out. First time seeing the 750S Le Mans edition, celebrating the fact that McLaren is entering 24 Hour of Le Mans. And it's got some really cool design cues. It's also a limited version, a numbered car. Front end is honestly entirely different, but the biggest change is stationary aero in the back. We no longer have that active hydraulic rear wing. We've got a stationary wing that looks pretty darn cool. I also really love those wheels. Check this out, guys. This is the new McLaren hypercar, the W1. Replacing the almighty P1, the W1 is powered by a 4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 with an electric motor making 1,258 horsepower and 957 pound-feet of torque, all to the rear wheels. 0 to 60 happens in 2.7 seconds, and it goes on to a top speed of 217 miles an hour. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw pictures and videos of this car, I wasn't sold, but in person, it's actually insane. I love the interior, the gull-wing doors are epic. The active aero with the enormous rear wing that extends outwards produces 2,200 pounds of downforce. I can't wait to some point get behind the wheel. Cartier lawn always has some pretty special cars, so let's go check it out. Display of Alpinas. We've got the Alpina B10 right here. Gorgeous black Alpina. I love the wheels on literally every single Alpina model. The pinstriping is gorgeous as well. And then look at this, the Alpina B12 5.7 Shifttronic. This is Veyron XP5, the last prototype ever made before they started production of the 450 Bugatti Veyrons. I actually really love the addition of this side intake right here. I think they should have brought that to production, but there are a slew of special edition Veyrons right here. Gorgeous matte black Bugatti Veyron Supersport. That thing is absolutely filthy, and look, you've got random people just touching the car. Are you kidding me? It's an incredible license plate on this Veyron. The Veyron Supersport I have never seen before. So the Supersport got a power upgrade, 1200 horsepower versus 1001, but this one has a carbon fiber hood as well as a carbon fiber roof. Obviously now with the Chirons, we're used to seeing carbon fiber all over it, but not so much with the Veyrons. I will say I love the circular design where you can poke in and see that quad turbo W16. That is so darn cool. This one has a really subtle, until the light hits it, exposed blue carbon fiber hood. That looks absolutely incredible. This is the Grand Sport model, the convertible version of the Veyron, and then they had the Grand Sport Vitesse, which was the convertible version of the Veyron Supersport. Finish it off with a super classy spec normal Veyron. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next time.